Good evening, everybody. Merry Christmas. Here we are, the last whiskey of the Advent calendar. We've been through 23 different pours. Now about to have our 24th and final. And it's on Christmas Eve, no less. And there's not really a better whiskey that I think I could have picked for today than the one that we're all going to have. This whiskey, more than any other that I've ever heard of, has been described as the perfect Christmas time drink. We're going to put that to the test. So without further ado, our final grand finale drink on Christmas Eve is going to be a pour of High West's a Midwinter's Night Dram. Well, I usually pride myself on getting the name right, and I got it wrong that time. It's a Midwinter Night's Dram, a play off of Midwinter Night's Dream, the Shakespearean play. And I mean, it tells you everything you need to know about the intent of this. This was a drink that was designed to be the perfect midwinter drink, Midwinter Night's Dram. It is a rye that is finished in port. More specifically, it's made by High West, like the double rye that we had much earlier on in the Advent calendar. And it is their rendezvous rye. So the like $70, $80 rye that I mentioned way back when. That's then finished in two different types of port. I've never had this before, like I mentioned. This is an extremely limited release sort of bottle. High West releases this once a year. It hit here in Seattle, I think it was like late October, early November around then, and it was a mad scramble to get some of these bottles. Calling around, driving to different stores, they got a shipment in, by the time you get there they're gone. Oh, but they might be getting two more in at some time the next day. So call to figure that out. It's just a mess, but I was very fortunate in I was able to put two and two together, find out that a store might have had one, called ahead. They couldn't hold it, but I got there in time with like 3 left. So here we are. You might have noticed on the label or during one of these B-rolls that I'm showing that this is Act 9, Scene 2. And so anything released this year is going to be Act 9. So I guess they've been making this for 9 years, and Scene 2 just refers to the bottling series. So this was in the second batch of bottles from this year's release. Shouldn't be any big taste difference between the different scenes. The acts are what you're looking for. And from everything I've heard, this one is a pretty good one. Very excited. So they really lean into the poetry and the Shakespeare of this one. So I want to read you a little bit off of the back of the bottle. Just some quotes they have from A Midsummer Night's Dream. Are you sure that we are awake? It seems to me that yet we sleep, we dream. So I think they're really hinting at this thing so freaking good that it's like you're dreaming. You can't tell if you're awake. And I know that's supposed to be the case. So it's really good. Swift as a shadow, short as any dream, brief as the lightning in the coiled night. So let's see. And they say, Lysander describes how quickly true love can vanish. This is how we feel about a dram of this whiskey. However, if you savor it slowly, we can attest that a Midwinter Night's Dram will help you through the coldest night. Try to savor this. I hope it's not a disappointment, because my hopes are very much high for this. Even though rye isn't, my whiskey of choice, I do like it. I've heard such good things about this that I'm excited to try it. But I probably will not be able to find another bottle of this. Maybe next year with Act 10, you know, maybe when that comes out, one of us will be lucky enough to be able to grab a bottle of that, but it'll be a little different. I mean, the acts are a little bit different year to year. The last one, Act 8, was supposed to be really good, and people generally think, from everything I've heard, that it's between Act 8 and Act 9 as being the one, the really good one. So, all right, I think it's time to do it. Kind of briefly and faintly taken back to the High West Double Rye. So there's a little bit of that, you know, rye spice, but with that like weird sweetness that the malted barley, extra malted barley gives to it. But then that is kind of enveloped by what I think must be the port finish, which, wow, it's this other kind of like rich, deep, plummy sweetness that goes really well with the malted barley, like the high barley content of High West's ryes. And I'm thinking that must be what sets this apart and what makes people like this so much. Like, I don't really know of a whole lot of port finished ryes in general. I'm sure some are out there, so maybe finishing a rye in port, maybe there's something to that makes it really, really good. But just off the nose alone, that blend of the high barley content rye with the port finish on there just goes so well together. That's really good. So far, my hopes are not dashed. This is fantastic. A little bit of the rye spice on there too. All right, well let's give this a try. Yeah, that is good, and that is something else. One thing that I really like, that I do really like about ryes, especially if it's leaning into the right, man, that thing's still finishing. If it's leaning into the right type of rye flavor that I like, is that it really hits you. Like it's your tongue gets prickly with that flavor. It hangs around. It's almost like it's fizzing on your tongue a little bit. I mean, not really, but kind of like that. And this, it does that without having any like super strong or pungent or what's the word I'm looking for, like offensive sort of characteristics to the rye. It's almost like that spiciness that really gets you, you know, that makes your mouth come alive is used to deliver this sweet port finish. It is so good.
On your knees.
Yeah, now it's smelling a lot spicier. But it coated in sweetness still.
Oh, rye divine. Oh,
wow.
rye.
That is tasty.
Finished in port.
It's like the spice is just coated in sweetness, like candied in it or something like that. And the rye also gives that like a deep finish that's really staying strong. I did not expect the finish to last that long on this. I should have said earlier on, this is it's 49.3% ABV, which puts it at exactly 98.6 proof. And they're getting a little cheeky. That's a little joke. They want this to be the, you know, perfect drink to get your body right during a cold winter night, to that 98.6. You know, whatever. It's kind of cute, kind of funny, but when you really deliver on how you're making the whiskey, yeah, who cares? You can be cute. And I really do think this one delivers. I'm really curious to see if other folks, you know, I probably haven't been hyping this up to you like as the month's gone along, but I've certainly been hyping it up a lot in this video. So I really want to know what you think of this one too, because I think it is absolutely fantastic. I'm disappointed that I didn't manage to get another bottle of it, but I'm really happy that I get to be trying it, and really happy that we're all sharing this, because that's what it's all about, right? Having a good thing, sharing your experience with others. That's why I'm doing this, and I certainly hope that you're enjoying this whiskey and that you've enjoyed everything in the calendar so far. That it's been, you know, a moment maybe where you could decompress, learn something, or maybe turn me off and just enjoyed some good whiskey. Or maybe, you know, found out, hey, I don't like that, and just learned a little bit more about what you do like, and what about this experience kind of not speaks to you, but interests you. And I'm really looking forward to getting to spend time with you folks, learning, what you like, what you didn't like, and trying to continue on from there to find more whiskeys that we can all enjoy. I am gonna keep enjoying this one now. I don't have any other whiskeys I could recommend for it because this is really one of a kind. This is the peak of what it does. I think it would be kind of silly of me to recommend something if you like this. So sorry, but enjoy what you got while you got it. Merry Christmas, everybody. This has been a lot of fun, and I really hope that you all enjoyed it too. Merry Christmas. Cheers. See you next year.